And we are live. Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast. We help you get started on your fitness journey. What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday or Monday, whenever you're listening to this. Hope y'all have a great week. Start your week off right. Do something today to get your week going, to set you up, to win the week, to get going. It's easier to get it going on Monday than it is to try to wait later in the week to get it going. So y'all go ahead and get it going today and see how your week kind of falls after that. Because if you start your week off right, it typically stays that way. You know what I'm saying? If you start off right, you typically can stick to it better throughout the rest of the week. But yeah, we got another podcast episode for y'all today. And today we're going to talk about a simple quote. A quote. It's very simple. It's very basic. You've probably heard it before, but I think it's good. I think it's a good one, especially when it comes to fitness. It definitely applies for like everything in your life, for sure, 100%. But we're going to relate it back to fitness like we always do, because this is a fitness podcast, so got to relate it back to fitness somehow. And you've probably already read the title of the podcast, but today's topic is going to be about the quote, "Average is easy." You've probably heard this before, or you've heard some form of this, quote before in the past. It's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, but it makes a lot of sense. And we're going to break it down today. What it means, why it matters, and how you can kind of use this quote to push yourself beyond being average. So this quote hits hard for me, especially when it comes, to my fitness, my health. That average is easy. So what does average is easy mean? So it means that most people, the majority of people, they settle for average. What is average? Average health, average energy, average discipline, average wealth, anything, average everything. Average is easy. It's easy to be average when it comes to anything. It takes no real effort to live that way. It don't take much effort to just be average. You know what I'm saying? Like just to go through the motions, go to work, come home, chill, and then get up and do it all over again the next day. It don't take much effort to do that. It takes, pretty much the bare minimum effort to just be average. Being average means, for example, like eating whatever is convenient. Going to fast food, whatever is convenient. Skipping workouts just because you don't feel like it, or because it may mess up your schedule or your routine for that day. You're going to skip a workout. That's being average. Or living with constant low energy, and living with health problems that could be avoidable if you were to, eat better, diet, exercise, things like that. So think of average as like the default path. That's like the path most people go down. It's the default path. It requires no intentional choices, just regular everyday choices, no intentional choices, no extra effort, no extra, want to, motivation, discipline, nothing like that. It's just typical what everybody else does, where you fit in. You're not out of the ordinary. You're not doing too much. You're not doing too little. You're just there, basically. So how does this quote relate to fitness? So when it comes to fitness, average, it looks like, doing the bare minimum in the gym, or not going to the gym at all. That's doing the bare minimum or not going at all. I mean, if you're going to go while you're there, you might as well, push yourself a little bit. Try to improve on something while you're there. Push yourself. Don't waste your time. Like, honestly, if you're not going to, try in the gym, if you're not going to push yourself a little bit, then honestly, you might as well just not go, if we're being honest. Like, you might as well just save your time, save your energy, save your effort. There's no point in being there and halfway doing it. You might as well give it your all while you're there. I mean, you're only going to be there for a short period of time. So I think you can, lock in, focus up, and do what you got to do while you're there. It also looks like eating fast food just because it's easier than meal prepping. And it is. I'll be honest, it's easier. But it's definitely not more healthy for you. It's definitely the easy path to do. Just go pick up something real quick. You ain't got to do all the work. Somebody's cooked it for you. Somebody prepared it. You ain't got to do none of that. You just got to eat it. That's all you got to do. But we all know that fast food is not very good for us. I'm not saying you can never eat fast food. I mean, I'll eat fast food. I will. But it's not what I'm eating the majority of the time. And most of the time, I'm eating a meal prep, if we're being honest. Meal prep takes effort. It really does. It takes effort. You got to take time out of your day to sit there and cook all the food. But if you do it in bulk, it's really not that hard and it don't take that long. Like, depending on what you're cooking, it may take tops 2 hours maybe to cook a whole week's worth of food if you do it in bulk. To me, I mean, for me now, I cook all mine in like an hour. Like, I just meal prep it all. I do very basic stuff. I'm not doing no like gourmet meals or nothing. I'm keeping it simple. Depends on what you're cooking, but max, 2 hours a week. Do it on Sunday. Get ready for the week. I mean, cook the whole week meal. That's what I do. I'll cook literally 5 days. I'll cook Monday through Friday. At least my lunches. Sometimes I'll do breakfast, but I always do lunch. I never meal prep my dinners. You can though. You can meal prep your dinner if you really want to. But to me, like, dinner is the one meal that I get to eat like with my wife. I get to sit down. We get to enjoy that time together. So we typically like to cook something fresh and eat it then. So we don't eat meal prep for dinner because that's kind of like our time we get to spend together. So it's a little more than just a meal. We're not just eating. We're hanging out, spending that time together. Because we both been at work all day. So I don't meal prep dinner. But you can though. You can if it helps you. Or depending on your work schedule, you may have to, like, depending on if you work swing shift or something like that, night shift, that may work for you. But yeah, it's gonna take some effort to meal prep. So that's not being, like, if you meal prep and you're already setting yourself up to, to not be average, if that makes sense. It also looks like making excuses instead of creating solutions. So average people just make excuses for why they're average, or for why they're not doing something, or for why they're not going above and beyond and doing something, out of the ordinary, stepping out of their comfort zone, doing the thing that average people don't do, going a step ahead of that. Instead, you should be looking to, create solutions for your problems, create solutions for, why you can't go to the gym today. Well, create a solution and maybe go the next day, or go later in the day, or go in the morning. That's what I do. I don't have enough time in the afternoon, so I wake up and I go to the gym in the morning before I go to work. So that's my solution. That way I can still fit in my workout for the day. I can get it done before I ever even go to the work for the day. So that's what I do. I don't make excuses for not having time in the afternoon. I just go in the morning. It's that simple. But the truth is, being average in your health, it comes, with hidden costs that you don't necessarily see. And these could be anything from, low confidence, preventable diseases. That's a big one. And also regret later in life. You may have regret, for kind of letting yourself slack off now when you're a little bit older. So if you go above and beyond, above average a little bit, it's going to require effort for sure. Absolutely. It's going to require you to do something that you don't normally do, or something that you don't necessarily want to do. It's going to require you to do something more than what you usually do. But I will say, hear me out. It will pay off. It will, I promise. It pays off in energy. It pays off in confidence. It pays off in longevity. You're going to live longer. You'll be healthier. You're probably going to be happier. Working out helps with, like, reducing stress, reducing anxiety, things like that. So it'll pay off. If you don't believe me, just lock in for 1 year and watch what happens to your body, and watch what happens to your mind, to your mood, all that kind of stuff. So why should you not settle for average in your health? I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, I don't even think I really have to answer this question. Your body, think of it this way. Your body is the one thing that you cannot replace. You can't replace your body. You get one and done. That's it. You don't get another one. So take care of it. Take care of your body. Like, it's pretty simple. Why would you destroy the one thing that you can't replace? Like, you only get one. Just like your life. You get one life, and that's it. So you might as well, do the best you can to, make your life longer, make it better, make it healthier, happier. So when we accept average health, we eventually are going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. Especially if you live in America. Average health in America is not healthy at all. Like, we're probably one of the heaviest nations in the world, if not the heaviest. If I had to guess, we're probably the most overweight nation in the world, which is not good. And it's just due to, the amount of accessible fast food we have, the amount of, the lack of physical movement, physical exercise, day-to-day activity that we do in the States. And I don't blame nobody. It just kind of happened that way. Like, we have a very good economy, so we have good jobs we have a lot of desk jobs. They have people sit down all day. They don't move. They're not outside. They're not being active. And then we have fast food everywhere. It's just accessible. It's cheap and it's easy to do. And we're always on the go. So it just works for people. It's convenient. It is. I agree. Like, I'm not hating on fast food. You just got to do it in moderation. Like, you got to eat it in moderation. You can't rely on fast food to eat every day. Like, you can't. You got to take some time out of your day, meal prep, make something healthy and eat that. Or pick healthier choices. Like, if you have to go out to eat, if you have to do fast food, they have healthier options. Pick those options instead of just getting, the typical cheeseburger or fried chicken or whatever it is. So if you do accept this average health, you're going to pay for it eventually, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally or emotionally. So we don't want to have to pay for it. If you go above and beyond, if you go above average, just a little bit. Just a little bit above average. You ain't got to do nothing crazy. Just go a little bit above average. You can change that entire trajectory on your health and on your life. So think of it as average equals surviving. If you're average, you're just surviving. But if you're above average, you're thriving. So average equals surviving. Above average equals thriving. Think of it that way. So how to use this quote as motivation. So next time you think, I don't want to work out, or I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to go for a run, just remind yourself, average is easy, but I don't want average. I want better. Tell yourself that. Average is easy, but I don't want easy. I want better. So that's going to mean that you're going to have to do something a little more than average if you want to be better. So think about this. Is average going to get you the body that you want? If you want to lose 50 pounds, can you be average and lose 50 pounds? Can you still do the same things that you did to get you to that 50 pounds that was quote unquote average to lose, 50 pounds? No, like, you can't. Plain and simple. You're going to have to go above and beyond. You're going to have to do something more. You have to be more focused, more, disciplined, more locked in on what it is you're trying to do. And when you're focused on these things, when you're locked in, you're not being average. You're going above and beyond. You're doing things that, the average person wouldn't do. Is average going to help you be there for your family long term? Think about that. Are you taking care of your health? Are you going to be there for your kids when they get older? Are you going to be there for your family, for your spouse? If you're unhealthy, I know this is a very harsh way to look at it, but if you're unhealthy, you may not live very long. If we're being honest, I don't really like to say that, but I'm just gonna try to keep it real with y'all. If you live in these unhealthy lifestyle, you're extremely overweight, eating fast food, drinking, doing whatever, you may not live very long. If we're being honest, like, you may not live to watch your kids graduate. We don't want that. That's not good. Not from something that's pretty simple that you could turn around yourself if you just was intentional about it. So ask yourself, are you going to be there for your family long term? Is average going to help you be there? Is average going to allow you to take care of your family? And then ask yourself this, is average going to build confidence, the confidence that you've been chasing, the confidence that you want? It's always good to be, confident in yourself, confident in your own skin, in your body. Because confidence can help with many things. Help you, with your job, with your career, with your leading your family, things like that. I think we could all agree that, it's good to have a little confidence in ourselves. So you can believe in yourself. So you'll do things, that you say you're going to do. So we want to reframe, these struggles that come from being average. Reframe these as opportunities. So if you're struggling in the gym, good. That means you're separating yourself from being average. If you're struggling in the gym, that means you're at least at the gym. You're working on yourself. You're getting better. You just got to overcome, that obstacle. That means you're separating yourself from being average. Are you saying no to junk food? Good. You're rejecting average. When you say no to junk food, you're rejecting being average. That's a good way to look at it. You got to refrain that struggle, as an opportunity. So practical steps to break out of being average. Start small. I always talk about this, starting small and being consistent. It's super easy. But not only do we want to start small, we want to be intentional with it as well. That could be as simple as going for a walk every day. Instead of just skipping, movement altogether, especially if you work, at a desk job, a computer or whatever. Go for a walk every day. It's not that hard. Like walking's pretty simple for most people. I mean, unless you're, disabled or whatever. But for 99% of people, going for a walk is very, very doable. Drink more water instead of grabbing soda. Don't grab a soda. Grab a water instead. Or, if you drink, say, 3 sodas a day, maybe cut it back to 1 soda a day. Or replace that other soda with the water. That's how you start small. You don't have to replace all of them. Just replace one of them. And then you'll find yourself, starting to replace 2 of them. And then you'll be replacing 3 of them, It'll start having a trickle effect. And then add 1 healthy meal a day instead of eating, whatever's there, whatever's convenient, whatever's easy. Add 1 healthy meal. So if you normally go to fast food for lunch, well, when you go to that fast food, buy one of their healthy options instead of your regular meal that you buy. And then maybe one day you start meal prepping and bring your lunch so instead of going out at all. So you just got to build consistency with these small steps. Build it over time. It's going to take time. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be short. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long process. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Like it's going to be hard work. It's not easy. That's a part of that. Being not average is going to be not easy. So the biggest difference between average and above average is just showing up when other people would normally quit. That's plain and simple. Like most people would quit at a certain point, and that's the average. That's the point of average. But as long as you go above that, as long as you show up, you can go above that point. Like you can go above average when you show up, when normally other people will quit. And then you want to, track your progress when it comes to whatever your goal is. Average people, they're not tracking their progress. They're just winging it. They're just going for it. They probably don't even have a goal. They're probably not even trying to do nothing, for being honest. But people that are above average, they hold themselves accountable. Like you got to. If you miss a workout, hold yourself accountable. Make it up. Or if you eat, something you shouldn't have ate, maybe get some extra cardio in that day or something. Or just hold yourself accountable and don't do it the next time, Track your progress when it comes to whatever the goal is that you're trying to achieve. So yeah, average, it's easy. And we don't want to be average. Or at least I don't want to be average. You may want to be average. And if that's cool with you, hey, then by all means, do you. I don't care. Like that don't bother me. But I would think for the most part, people, don't want to, be average for the most part. But if you want to be great, if you want to be good, it's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take sacrifice. That's a huge one. Sacrifice is huge. It's going to happen. You're not going to be able to do the same things that you used to do. You're not going to be able to do the things that you do now to, go above average, to be different, to achieve that goal that you want to achieve. Like you can't do the same things that you did to get you where you are, to get to that next goal. You can't do the same things. You got to change. You got to make sacrifices. You got to be disciplined, and you got to have consistency, period. So your future self will thank you, I promise, for choosing the harder path today. If you make the harder choice today, if you do the extra step today, if you commit something today, your future self is going to thank you 100%. Even if you failed at your goal, even if you did something hard and you still failed, I promise you your future self will still thank you for doing it, for trying it, for giving it a shot, for, at least attempting it. Because then you could at least say you did it. Even if you failed, you could at least say you did it, you tried, you gave it your all, you gave it your effort, and it just didn't work out for you. And that's okay, depending on whatever it is that you're trying to do. But I promise you will be less, upset with yourself if you tried and failed than if you just never tried at all. Because if you never tried at all, then you could have succeeded. You could have. You never know until you try it. So you got to try it. Your future self will be happy and proud that you did it. I promise. You will thank yourself. So ask yourself this. Do you want easy or do you want results? Do you want easy or do you want results? Which one is it? If you don't want to get results, then just be average. Keep doing the things you're doing now and go on about your day. Simple as that. But if you want to make a change, if you want to do something different, if you want to achieve a goal, if you want to lose 50 pounds, if you want to gain some muscle, if you want to improve your bench press, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing the same things you're doing now? Are you going to continue to be average? Or are you going to take that next step and go above and beyond, above average, and do something, towards your goal? Work towards your goal. So remember, average is easy, but above average changes your life. It's going to change your life if you decide to take that next step, if you decide to, go out of your comfort zone and do that thing, whatever it is, and achieve it. So yeah, that's pretty much my spiel on average being easy. We don't want to be average. We want to, succeed. We want to achieve our goals. We want to do something great with our life, have a purpose, fulfill that purpose, and things like that. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today. Let's start being, consistent and start doing the things that we're saying we're gonna do. That's another thing. You gotta follow through on the things you say you're gonna do. Because if you don't follow through, you're gonna start doubting yourself. You're not gonna believe in yourself. So in the future, when you tell yourself you're gonna do things, you're probably not gonna do it because you're just like, oh well, I ain't gonna do it. You're not even gonna believe yourself anymore. You're gonna stop believing yourself. So just following through on simple, like small tasks can go such a long way. One that I like to use for an example is like making your bed in the morning. As much as I hate making my bed, trust me, I don't like doing it. I hate doing it. But I do it every day. We do it every day, no matter what. And I don't know why my wife decided to buy like 57 pillows to put on our bed. Why? I don't know. Can somebody please tell me why we put so many dang pillows on the bed that we don't use? Can anybody explain that? I don't get it. Like, why do I need 2 pillows on my bed. The one I sleep on, the one my wife sleeps on. That's it. I don't need any more pillows. Why do we have 57 pillows on the bed? Can somebody please drop that in comments and let me know? Because I want to know. Because I hate putting all them dang pillows on the bed every single day. But, sorry, that's my little rant. But I make up the bed every day because it's an easy, simple win for the day. It's easy. I can, boom, check it off the list for the day. Boom, already got a win. Now I'm going to set myself up, to get another win, to get the next win. And it's such a simple thing. It's such a simple task that you could do. And it takes like 1 minute. It takes like 1 minute to make your bed. Really. If you really do it, it takes 1 minute. It don't take long. Like maybe 2 minutes max, unless you're doing something extra. But it's such a simple thing that don't take no time. It just takes a little effort, a slight effort to make the bed up. Really, that's all it takes. Slight effort to make the bed. But psychologically, it's such a good win because you do it first thing in the morning. As soon as you got out the bed, boom, make it. Make your bed, check it off the box. Check the box. You're done with that for the day. Now you can move on to the next step. It's just an easy way to get a win first thing in the morning. Because once you get 1 win, it builds momentum. And then you can get 2 wins. And then when you get 2 wins, you got even more momentum. You can get 3 wins. You just keep stacking them on top of each other. And it's a win after win after win. So it's such a simple thing to do. Even though you don't want to do it. I don't get why we do it. Why do we make up the bed when me and my wife are the only two that's ever going to see our bed unmade? Like, we're the only two going in our bedroom. We don't have kids. We don't have guests over during the week. Nobody's going to see it. So why do we make it up? I don't know. I really don't. Whoever decided it was the normal thing to do to make your bed every single day, I don't know. I don't know why they decided that. Honestly, I wish they wouldn't have decided that because I don't like making the bed, but I do it anyways because it's a mental thing for me. I can check it off the box. I can check the box off the list, done for the day. And now I can do the next thing that I have planned for the day. And just, kind of hacking your brain like this a little bit helps with setting yourself up for the day. Like, I know after I make the bed, I'm going to brush my teeth, do my devotion. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out and then go straight to work. So it's like, check, 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 check. Now I'm ready to go for the day. So when you tell yourself you're going to do these things in the morning and then you follow through and you do them, it's easier to follow through on the other things that you say you're going to do. You start believing in yourself, you start trusting yourself, to do these things. So some of these things, make them easy, like make an easy task that you can do. And it helps. It helps me at least. I don't know. Try it for yourself. See if it helps. If it don't, try something else. I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, sorry about the making your bed up rant. That's just how I feel. Other than that, y'all have a great day. Peace, love, protein. We out.